All right, guys, so we're back with another Mat Chat with Coach Corey. And this time we're going to talk about what every person should know in their first 3 months of training. So basically, what tips, what advice do you have for people when they're just starting out in their martial arts journey?
Awesome. So the first one, guys, is be cool, be calm. There's a lot that's going to be thrown at you, especially in your first few months here. You're going to be learning different stances and punches, kicks, if you're doing jiu-jitsu, throws, and submissions and all these things. The idea is you're going to think at some point, there's no way I'm going to be able to learn all this. There's no way I'm going to be able to learn all this. I promise you can. It just takes some time. Some people learn quicker, some people learn faster. The idea is if you are having a problem with anything, ask me. Always holler at me. I'm here. I'm your coach. I'm here to help you. But you can also ask one of the more experienced teammates if you ever feel like a little embarrassed, which you shouldn't. I'm your coach. But if you ever do, that's totally cool. I understand it. You can always ask one of your senior teammates, hey, am I doing this right? Does this look correct? No one's ever grading you or judging you. We just want to make sure you get better. So again, a lot of information is going to get thrown at you. If you feel like it's a little overwhelming, take that big breath and just know that you're going to get past it. You're going to learn it. We're going to help you. That's the first thing. So a lot of information is going to be thrown at you. Just bear with it. Bear with it. The second thing is you are going to sweat. You are going to be uncomfortable. I always tell people, I'm like, if you're looking to train and you want to get healthy and you want to get fit and you want to learn self-defense, it comes with the price. And I'm not meaning a drastic price, but it comes with the price is, yes, you're going to sweat like a hog. It's okay. That's normal. You're not here to look pretty. You're here to sweat. At times you're going to feel out of breath. Your lungs are going to be on fire. You might get a little nauseous. That's okay. Take your appropriate break. You got to use the bathroom, the garbage can, the bushes outside, whatever you got to do. Make sure you do it. But just know, that will pass too. It's temporary while you're getting your body in shape and getting it kind of conditioned to the things we're going to be doing on a regular basis. Okay, so don't be scared. It's your body telling you we're in improvement mode. All right, so that's another thing. Don't be freaked out if you're sweating and feeling a little sick at times. That's normal. Another thing I would say is have fun with it. A lot of people, I think, when they get really serious about it, and it's great to be serious about it, but they almost become so serious about it. They become very self-reflective in a negative way, and you'll hear, and I've heard it before, oh, I suck, my kick sucks, this sucks. It's like, no, it's okay. We all have to start somewhere. I know I started with the wimpiest, worst kicks ever. Me. A guy with a very strong kick, I used to have the wimpiest, worst kicks. It was just something that I kept training consistently to improve on. So that's just another thing. Is like, if you're feeling like you're beating yourself up, look at the positive things you're doing. If you're in class, say like, hey, my stance looked pretty good today. Or like, hey, when I threw that right cross, that felt good. Okay, even if your kick did suck, there's other positive things to look at and can improve upon. So it's about that, really more about the mindset involved. Okay. The other thing, and this is going to sound kind of funny, but please get proper equipment. I feel like when people join, the first thing they do is go to Academy or Walmart and get the cheap falling apart MMA gloves or boxing gloves. Please don't do that. Besides making the floor a mess, they're not good. They're not going to last you. It's going to be a waste of money.
Safety might be an issue too. They might have the padding more in the back because they're just trying to put weight. They're not trying to protect.
Yeah, it's not a proper. Usually those gloves at Walmart, Academy, I'm sorry, I got to call them out, but they're not good. They're not good. You want to get a real boxing glove, especially if you're sparring here with us, 16 ounce. If you're in the Muay Thai class and you're in there for a few months, get a good pair of shin guards that looks good to you and feels good to you. Make sure you get your mouthpiece, your cup. Make sure you have these good pieces of equipment. It's not just frivolous spending. It's an investment in you. You want to protect yourself and you want to protect your partners. Because at the end of the day, if you keep injuring your partners, then you got no one to train with. You're going to be on the floor alone, and you don't want that. So make sure you invest in all those good equipment pieces. It's going to go a long way.
Nice. What would you say would be some really good, realistic first 3 month goals that somebody could set?
Yeah. First goal I would say is literally plan out classes you're going to make and then don't miss them. If you do miss them, have a makeup class plan for the next day or the day after, but make sure you're keeping a routine. I think the hardest thing is, the easiest thing is to fall off once you start missing. And you don't want, a rest day can turn into a rest week real easy. I get it. So just make sure you're holding yourself accountable. Make sure you're booking a class. Make sure you're attending that class. When you attend the class, give me what you can. I know sometimes, we've had a hard day at work or something stressful happened, but give me your best effort and I'll make sure I take care of you.
I like that. Yeah, the funny thing is when we first started as a gym, we were renting from another martial arts school, and so we could only be open 2 days a week, or have class 2 days a week. And everyone that was a student made every single class religiously. And as soon as we got our own space and opened up the schedule, had classes every day, all of a sudden people started dropping off. And it was because suddenly, like, oh, well, I'll just go tomorrow became a thing. And so, yeah, when you mark your calendar, that's the class you're going to go. You make that a solid date. You pen it in, not pencil it in. And then also, I'm a big fan of floor and ceiling goals because a lot of times people come in and they go, oh, I'm going to be here every day of the week. And the moment that they miss a class, they feel like so just pick 2 days that you are going to put in pen. And then if you want to come every day, come every day. But have 2 days that are circled that if somebody says, hey, what are you doing Tuesday night? You say, I can't hang out unless you want to come train with me because I'm training Tuesday nights or whatever night it is. So another question, we talked about hygiene in another video, but, or actually this isn't quite hygiene, although watch that video might be good advice.
That would be a good one to watch.
Be conservative, but also be sort of like aware of even if you've come from another school, every place does things differently. So come in with an open mind, both to training, but also to what is the etiquette. That's it, the etiquette, Yeah,
every school is different. And, even myself, guys, like I have friends around Austin, I go to their schools to train, and when I'm a student, I follow their etiquette. Just because I have a rank in another art doesn't mean I'm above that person. When I'm in that school, I show that coach the respect they deserve because I'm just happy to jump on the mat.
Yeah. So ask people what is the etiquette here, and then I wanted to ask you. Oh, I had another thing I wanted to ask in regards to this. So what stands out to you about the students that have stayed the longest, who have lasted the longest? What was different about them in their first 3 months than the students that you've seen kind of drop off pretty quick?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple things that I would say are kind of common trends. One thing is they have fun with it. They're coming and they're learning, they're putting their best foot forward, but they're also having fun. Like a common thing in my classes is people giggling and laughing because they're having a good time. Or, if you keep the training fun, it's going to keep you going. If training seems like a chore, that's when the fall off happens. That's the big one. Another one is just pay attention, learn a lot. I remember in my days, like when my coach taught, my coach didn't have the greatest, my first coaches didn't have the greatest English. I had one coach from Dagestan, and so he had, very little English, but luckily jiu-jitsu is very physical art, so you can show it. And my second coach was Brazilian, and same thing, he had very rough English. So the idea was I would just watch, and I would, almost like the Terminator, zoom in on my coach demonstrating and just not listen to anyone else, not goof around, not mess around, not stare off into space. I would stare at what he was doing and just try to absorb as much as I could. So again, just pay attention as much as you can, absorb what I can. If you are confused, please ask a question. I always say there's never a dumb question. I feel like people sometimes in martial arts feel bad to ask questions. Don't. I think if you have an instructor that's making you feel bad about asking a question, that's a weird instructor quality. You want to have someone that can be not only answer your questions, but why. So it's not just well, I said it, so do it, but if you have a question, I want to help you understand why, so you understand the art better.
Nice. Yeah. And out of curiosity, would you recommend having a training journal you bring to class so when you're talking, notes are being taken?
Oh my gosh, Forrest hit the nail on the head with this one. I have journals, pun journals from 2008, 2009 that I still have. I still fill out journals. It helps me remember techniques when I'm writing them down or when I'm writing the steps. I don't know, something about pen to my hand and having to remember the physical movements really helps out. But also later on, I can go look upon those notes. Also, guys, we do have a channel here. We literally we film every single class and have it in a video library. So please watch those if you're ever like, man, I like that choke we did the other day. Go to that video library, look it up, check it out, use those resources. But yeah, never feel like if you're having a hard time remembering, use these aids, right? Like use the videos, use journal, take pictures, whatever you have to do to remember and to help get these motions and techniques very familiar to you, do it. It's only going to help you.
Now, that actually goes into another question I had about training at home. Obviously, going into that would be really helpful. You got any other tips for what someone can do? You know, they just signed up for a jiu-jitsu school. They've got the link to the channel. They're going to watch all the videos. Anything else they can do at home?
Yeah, there's always good supplemental things you can do. I'm a big fan of any kind of stretching or yoga. It's just always going to be beneficial to the martial artist. It's good for not only limbering us up, but for recovery. So do that. For jiu-jitsu, there's a lot of like little solo drills you can do. That's pretty easy. I can always help you out with a list of solo drills. And then for kickboxing and Muay Thai, I feel it's even easier. If you get a bag at home, easy. You work your favorite combos in the bag. You can shadow box at home. If you buy a jump rope, you can jump rope. You can buy one of the agility ladders that you lay on the grass. Like all of these things, while they're little, like go a long way in the long term of your martial arts journey.
Yeah. Would you say, are the ground bags, the jiu-jitsu ground bags, would you say those are worth getting for training?
I'm not the biggest fan of the the canvas ones that are very limp that you have to fill. Now, those are the cheap ones you'll see on Amazon for like $60-$70, and they're tempting because they're so cheap. Those, in my opinion, are pretty worthless. If you do get one of more of the leather-bound or pleather-bound ground bags that has the arms and legs.
Where they're kind of bent?
Yeah, those are a little bit more worth it because if they're heavier, it's going to give you more realistic training ability. You can actually train things like arm bars and throws, and there will be resistance on it.
Yeah.
So the limp canvas ones, no, but the heavy leather ones, yes.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.